The internet is having a fight. Half of it says artificial intelligence is the biggest bubble in financial history. The other half says it is the biggest breakthrough since electricity. They have been screaming at each other for 3 years now, and honestly, both sides are having a lovely time. Dave does not scream. Dave runs a lemonade stand. Business is not good. 3 customers a week, and one of them is his mom. So on Tuesday, Dave takes a crayon and adds 1 word to the sign. Well, 2 words and a hyphen. AI powered. Nothing else changes. Same lemons, same paper cups, same warm lemonade, because ice costs money. By Thursday, there is a queue outside the stand. Nobody in the queue wants lemonade. They want to give Dave money. Wheelbarrows of it. One man offers to buy 10% of the stand for more than the stand has earned in its entire existence, and when Dave hesitates, the man behind him offers double. Dave's stand earns 3 coins a year. The men with the wheelbarrows have just decided it is worth 120, which raises a small question. Who pays 40 times the earnings for a lemonade stand, and why? To find out, Dave visits the valuation office. This is a real place. It has carpets and everything. A clerk opens Dave's books. Revenue, 3 coins. Costs, 4 coins. The clerk nods as if he knows something. Then he stamps a certificate, worth 120 coins. Dave points out quietly that the stand loses money. The clerk explains with a completely straight face that what a business earns and what a business is worth are handled by different departments. Earnings are about the present. Worth is about the future. And the future, says the clerk, is enormous. Here is the uncomfortable part. He is not lying. This is genuinely how the machine works. The biggest AI company on Earth earns about $13 billion a year and is valued at more than 850. That is 65 times its revenue. 65 years of every single dollar it makes, assuming nothing ever goes wrong and nobody ever competes with it. But fine, the number on the certificate is imaginary. The wheelbarrows, though. The wheelbarrows were real money, arriving in real time. So whose money is it? Where is it actually coming from? Here is where it gets beautiful. 3 buildings stand in a circle. The chip company, which makes the brains. The model company, which makes the intelligence. The cloud company, which owns the warehouses the intelligence lives in. Now, watch the coin. The chip company invests a coin in the model company. A bell rings. Revenue. The model company pays that coin to the cloud company for computing power. A bell rings. Revenue. The cloud company spends the same coin on chips. A bell rings. Revenue. The coin is now back exactly where it started. It has been counted 3 times. 3 bells, 3 revenues, 1 coin. The scoreboard above the circle climbs with every lap, and the coin just keeps running, like it owes somebody money. By now, this coin has more stamps in its passport than a diplomat. It has crossed the same 3 borders more times than anyone has bothered to count. Nobody at any border ever asks why. And to be fair, at every single window, the transaction is real. Real contract, real invoice, real accountant signing off with a real pen. Every step is legal. It is only the shape that is strange. Money traveling in a circle, and everyone inside the circle getting richer each time it passes their window. A circle like this has one weakness. It has to keep spinning, and spinning, it turns out, is not cheap. How much is being poured in exactly? $725 billion. That is the plan for this year alone. A handful of companies, 1 year, $725 billion of chips, data centers, and concrete. Numbers that size are hard to imagine. So, let me break it down for you. $23,000 a second, not per day, per second. In the time it takes Dave to say the word lemonade, the industry has spent a teacher's annual salary on graphics cards. This money does not trickle. It is aimed. A fire hose pointed at a warehouse running day and night, and on the warehouse door, someone has written the future in very confident letters. And here's the part nobody puts in the same sentence, so we will. These same companies holding the fire hose have shown 113,000 people to the door this year. Same building. 2 doors. Through the left one, people carrying cardboard boxes with a stapler and a mug in them. Through the right one, forklifts carrying pallets of processors. The press releases call it transformation. The spreadsheet calls it a swap. The building has decided the future comes through the right door, and everything leaving through the left one is simply the money to pay for it. Now, spending like this is a bet. And a bet this size must already be winning something back, surely. Let us check the till. Every casino has two numbers, the number on the sign and the number in the drawer. The sign here is magnificent. A scoreboard the size of a stadium, glowing all night, breaking a record every other week. Valuations up, indexes up. 7 companies now make up more than a third of the entire American stock market, and most of that weight is resting on this one bet. Now, the drawer. The entire artificial intelligence economy, every chatbot, every subscription, every enterprise deal on the planet earns about $110 billion a year. $110 billion coming in, $725 billion going out. For every dollar poured into the machine, about 15 cents comes back. The most advanced technology in human history is currently running the finances of Dave's lemonade stand. Inside the machine, it gets worse. The flagship company took in $13 billion last year and spent $38.5. Its marketing budget grew 400%. Somehow, this revolutionary product needs $5.7 billion a year to remind people it exists. And the offices that bought all this intelligence? Out of every 100 companies that installed it, 95 have measured no return at all, not losses, just nothing, yet. At this point, a reasonable person asks a reasonable question. Have adults ever done anything like this before? Oh yes. Real technology and mad money are not strangers. They are a couple. They have been arriving at parties together for 200 years. Electricity was real, and it came wrapped in a bubble. Cars were real. Radio was real. The internet was extremely real, and in the year 2000, it deleted $5 trillion of savings on its way to becoming the most important invention of the century. Someone actually counted. Since 1825, 37 of the 51 great breakthroughs arrived wrapped in a bubble. Because here is the trick. Nobody bets their house on a fake idea. A fake idea can be checked. It is the real ones that are dangerous. When the technology is genuinely magnificent, there is no ceiling on the story. And when there is no ceiling on the story, there is no ceiling on the price. The realness is not the antidote. The realness is the fuel. So the couple keeps showing up. The invention, arm in arm with the crowd. And the question is never whether the invention works. The question is how the evening ends, and we know how it ends because we have thrown this exact party before, several times, with the receipts to prove it. 1845, Railway Dave. Britain is pouring 7% of its entire economy into train tracks. The trains are real. The tracks are real. The revenue arrives at 1/4 of the promises. The market halves, and gentlemen who owned railway shares now own only their hats. The trains, however, keep running for 100 years. Somebody eventually bought those tracks for what was, by then, roughly 3 apples. 1999, Fiber Dave. $500 billion of glass cable buried under America. 85% of it never carries a single message. The companies die. The cable stays in the ground. A few years later, an entire streaming industry runs happily on fiber it inherited for almost nothing. 2014, Shale Dave. Fracking makes America the biggest oil producer on Earth. Oil falls from $100 to $30. 200 drillers go bankrupt. The cheap oil everyone else inherits. Today, AI Dave, party hat still on, the same face, the same excitement, the same sentence every time. This time is different. And the joke is, the sentence is always half true. The technology changes but survives every time. It is the people who paid for it who do not. The rails ran, the fiber lit up, the oil flowed, and someone patient collected all of it at the estate sale. Which leaves the only question that actually matters. If the pattern is this visible, and it is, why does nobody leave the room? Because leaving is the stupid move. Think about the party. Not a metaphor party, a real one. It is late. The music is still going. Every guest in that room privately knows it ends at some point. Every single one. And every single one has thought about leaving. Do you know what is stopping them? If they leave and the party runs another year, they are going to be the idiot who missed the best party. The fund manager knows it is a bubble. His clients will fire him if he sits out the rally. The companies know the spending is mad, but the gramophone does not play itself. Someone has to keep cranking it. $700 billion a year of cranking, and the first company to stop cranking will be called Cinderella. So everyone cranks and everyone dances while keeping an eye on who is reaching for their coat. Dave, naturally, is dancing hardest because he doesn't want anybody to leave. He was late. And some guests are dancing in borrowed shoes. In that kind of shoes, the risk is higher. The market does not have to collapse. It just has to wiggle once, and there is a man at the door with a clipboard asking for the shoes back. So no, there is nobody irrational in this room. That is the uncomfortable part. Everyone is doing the sensible thing, all at once, in the same direction. Still, if you want to know what time it really is, do not ask the dancers. Look at what the hosts are doing. The hosts' coats are already stacked by the exit. The people who built these companies, the founders, the early investors, the ones who know exactly what the machines can and cannot do, are currently filing the paperwork to sell you their shares. Public listings, at the top of the music, at prices that assume the night never ends. And while the paperwork goes through, they stand by the gramophone and tell the room the party is just getting started. Both of those things are happening at once. So, here's the one question this entire video was built for. If the future of this technology is as bright as the people selling it say it is, why are the people who know it best in such a hurry to sell? Notice what we have not given you: a date. We do not know when. Nobody knows when, and anyone who hands you a date is probably trying to sell you something. But here is what we do know, and it is not really about Wall Street at all. Bubbles are not made of stupidity. Bubbles are made of people who are afraid of being the only one standing still. From the outside, every bubble in history looks obvious. From the inside, it never looks like a bubble. It looks like your job, your rent, your one chance to finally catch up with the people who got in early. And that is the real engine of every bubble. Not greed, not stupidity. The oldest fear we carry. Everyone else is moving, and I am standing still. Markets did not invent that fear. They just found a way to attach a number to it, and for a few years, the number goes up. The lights do come up eventually. I mean, they always have, so far. And when they do, there is Dave, alone on the dance floor, still going. Behind him, the gramophone is winding down, and in the corner sits the lemonade sign. Proud crayon letters and all. AI powered. The clerk came back this morning with a different stamp. Underneath, in small letters, it now says, reduced. Warm lemonade, half price. The future has never been more affordable. Anyway, subscribe if you feel like it. It is free. We will be here when the lights come up, pouring the warm lemonade.